Bravehearts, to the Doc of Detox show, and today's show is New World Health Live Q&A. And believe it or not, it's one of the most casual shows. I mean, I'm here with Sharon, and I'll let her talk in about 2 minutes. But it's one of the more casual shows where you get to come on Zoom and ask us any questions, emotional, nutritional, okay, you name it, detox, okay, where you can buy the best food, or just maybe how you can strategize your life when these psycho tyrants are just saying, hey, we're coming for you. And anyways, we're here today to answer all your questions, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Absolutely.
And just so you know, I did a one-a-day this morning, and I went through everything with them because the juice bar is open and going, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, and also this afternoon, I'm going to be back here with Christopher Key. He's actually the president of the vaccine police. And I don't want to say any more because we don't want to get taken down. But he's going to be coming on, and we're going to be talking about IGF-1. IGF-1 is probably one of the most important nutritional discoveries in the last 50 years, and it's really important right now because it makes men men and women women, and it actually brings back your hormonal and chemical balance. And so you do know that a man reaches his peak at 30. So girls, you better get going really quick, okay? Because it looks like it's going to go whoop. Anyways, and that's because of all the EMF, the blue light, and the GMOs, and also stress. Nobody functions properly under stress, especially when it comes to making love or trying to have a baby. And the reality is that IGF-1 is what human growth hormone becomes. And you know what? People spend a lot of money on human growth hormone, like thousands and thousands of dollars, that has to go into the actual liver and be processed to become actually IGF-1. But the reality is we know how to make IGF-1, so it doesn't have to go in the liver, and your body totally utilizes it, and it makes your body go, wow, you're young again. You're only in your 20s. And understand, it's not just about virility. It's also about muscle tone. It's about clear thinking. Okay, it's about energy. It's about, remember how you felt when you were around 24, 28 years old? You felt you owned it. And it's all about energy. And understand something, whether you believe it or not, when you don't have energy, you feel like you're getting old. And when it's constantly going, how does that feel, Sharon?
Oh, it's just so draining. And then so every morning you get up and it's like you're more depleted and more depleted. And, you know, our mitochondria needs to spin
That's right.
2,500 revolutions per second.
And whether you believe this or not, the IGF-1, okay, helps to help your mitochondria make the ATP. And a man of 75 kilograms, okay, which is about 175 pounds, needs to make what? 85 kilograms of what? ATP. Just so you know this, video guys, Linda is saying that there's no picture. Now, what does that mean, guys? Is there no picture on Zoom? Can you help me out here?
And they can't.
They don't need to see you on Zoom, so they can see you on the live video.
Okay, all right, so there you go.
And the sound is, sounds like it's
I'm checking
got
the
some
sound.
challenges.
I'm checking the sound here now on the video, and I can hear you guys just fine.
Can you
Okay.
hear me now, Alina? Elena?
Okay, so everybody, you know what, we have had a lot of trouble, and it's not my video guy's fault, but we've had to cancel 3 shows just from all kinds of things, between Facebook, IT things, programs we had to update, and if you didn't update them, Zoom, no good for me. All right, there's picture and no sound, okay? On Facebook, they're saying there's picture and no sound. Is that true?
I see it all right here.
No, we got it. Okay. All right, so we're up and going. We're just a little bit like cats on a hot tin roof, wanting to make sure that
It's all good.
You
We're
know-
jacked up on coconut water.
Yeah, you know what? It's like this, right? We all talk to ourselves. I just don't want to be talking to myself and thinking there's somebody out there. Is there anybody really out there?
Yeah, wave to us, please. Make sure that we're out there.
Yeah.
Okay, we got perfect sound and picture.
Hey, listen, so Ryan says he will be getting a consult from you, Sharon, later this month, okay?
Beautiful, Ryan. I really look forward to it.
And just know this, everyone, and I'm going to just say this right now. If you get a perfect day consultation with Sharon or any of the other master trainers, you just need to go to docofdetox.com, click on consultations at the top. You're paying $150 for an hour consult, a 320-page health manual. This is the best. It doesn't get any better. Okay, this is 40 years of my experience, and it's well laid out, lots of pictures.
Yeah.
Pictures tell 1,000 words,
Yeah.
don't they? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
And then you're going to get lifetime calling with your consultant as long as they live your lifetime. And the reality is, if they don't, we have a lot of other consultants that will pick up the ball and will hand you over to another one.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, you know, if they don't hang around, it's okay. We'll just have a pitch hitter. Sharon, are you going anywhere?
I'm not going anywhere.
How's
So
your-
Ryan, you're good to go.
How's your heart doing?
Oh, it's a little tender. We've had quite the little journey with this heart.
Yeah?
Yes.
So we did a heart release on Sharon, and everybody on Facebook, on YouTube, and Zoom. Are you letting people in on Zoom?
Yeah, I've been letting people in.
Okay, I don't see them. So let's make sure we get all the people in on Zoom, and let's have some questions coming. And don't be afraid to ask us anything. Okay. Just try to be nice to us. I mean, we did a show yesterday with the Ukrainian girls on how to heal the pelvic floor. And this lady came on and she said, oh, this is all about sex. So, you know, reality, guys, is why don't you give everybody a chance here, okay? Because whether you want to believe it or not, me and Sharon were talking because we're coming on tomorrow on Thursday. On Thursday,
that's
we're
right.
coming on at 2 o'clock with
2 o'clock.
Braveheart Women, and we're going to be talking about how women can restore their pelvic floor. Oh, seriously, this is all about sex? Really? I thought it was about the 49% of women dripping in their urine throughout the day. I thought it was that hysterectomies are the most main surgery that are done where women get their ovaries and uterus stripped away from their pelvis, okay, and they get the same treatment as they used to do to dogs. And understand something. How many times do you hear a man, oh, did you hear that Joe got his testicles cut off? They don't do that, but they have no problem going in and taking a woman's ovaries. They will leave a man's testicles and his penis on until it's bloody well falling off because it's a man's world. And don't you forget that, Sharon.
No, don't
okay?
you forget that.
So look at, they're making up new operations and new drugs for you girls unless you want to wake the heck up and get that pelvic floor healed. So understand something. This is not about sex. This is about becoming more of the sex that you are. And that is a Braveheart feminine woman that has found her Braveheart roar and taken her pelvis back so that her ovaries are singing, okay, and her uterus is screaming out, I'm back. Okay, so that's
Absolutely.
really important because
Yeah.
women don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it, and men don't get it. You've been pooping in your pelvis since you were a little girl because mommy and daddy didn't know what a good bowel movement was. They didn't know what a good diet was. They didn't know what cleansing was. And why should they? The manual was given to them by the medical system and by who? By our government, who works for another government that is selling everybody off by the pound. Like, that's not obvious. And if it isn't, then there's no help for you. You're one of the walking you-know-what. Okay?
And the
And you know when they
Braveheart-
say, you know why there's so many zombie movies? Because everybody is so dumbed down from all the poisons. And guess what happens? Did you ever notice something? Okay, Sharon, if she starts talking to me, blah, 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 and I go, Sharon, and Sharon goes, are you listening? Well, guess what? That's what people aren't doing today. They're not listening, are they?
No, they're
Because when you've got so much going on with your monkey mind, jumping from branch to branch, otherwise thought to thought, next terroristic thought, okay, you can't think straight. So you shut down. And that's why everybody is getting, where's my depressive meds? And you know what? Because the reality is the more stress you cause yourself, the more you burn your brain until your brain says, I got to shut down. Then you go into depression. Then you go to the doctor, and then he wants to give you these meds. And then in 6 weeks, you want to kill yourself and your whole family. I think it's just great.
What a vicious circle. And we can get it all back. We can gain back that body of our youth. And I'm a protege of that as far as all the different veils that have been pulled away over the last couple of years. It's been just an amazing journey. And as we move forward and as we regain that vitality that we so deserve to have, and that vitality from a woman as far as the femininity, I mean, a man doesn't have to try to regain their masculinity. So why was the
that's
femininity?
not true. That's not true. He will push himself around more and get more aggressive when he can no longer be have his virility.
Oh, yes.
No. And you know what? Men, when they no longer can get it up, I hope I can say that. Thank you. What happens is that they feel less of a man.
Right.
And you'll see it. And whether you believe this or not, Sharon, it's proven that when you can't get it up, okay, you get inflamed prostate and eventually prostate cancer. But you also can get an inflamed prostate and prostate cancer if you believe that somebody cheated on you, or if somebody doesn't love you, or they sexually don't want you anymore. These are, every organ has an emotional disease attached to it. There is no disease, okay, which basically means inflammation, infection, in any organ unless there was an emotional infection first from here, because the thought creates everything, because the physical is created by the metaphysical, which is the invisible, which is our thoughts. And that's why people today, when they get an autoimmune disease or they get cancer, they believe that it's a life sentence or it's a death sentence. And it's neither.
It's the body saying that you've got inflammation out of control.
That's right. And that means that you were out of
Yeah.
control. And it doesn't mean that you were out of control like, it means that you never ever got your control back after you started to walk and talk, okay, because of the programs that were put into your head that made you believe that you weren't enough. You weren't pretty enough, you weren't strong enough, you weren't smart enough. I wasn't born in the right family, the right time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Accepted enough.
Yeah.
Yes. All of those enoughs. And now it's enough. We
Yeah.
are enough.
Michelle
for
says
ourselves.
emotions are the root cause, yet so many are medical brainwashed. The past can heal. Now understand something. We do need the medical system for emergency care. But if you use the medical system when you have a fever, when you have any type of infection in the body, okay, unless it is life-threatening. But everybody thinks everything is life-threatening now. So that's why, you're like a cat on a hot tin roof. As soon as you have this problem, because you've been programmed to believe it's the end of the world as we know it, you'll go wait in emergency for 3 hours and stress really out and what the doctor's going to say. And then you'll go in there and then you'll get antibiotics, or you'll get an antidepressant or an antispasmodic or an anti-inflammatory. Meanwhile, if you were in charge of your mind, which is a landmine, but if you were in charge of the mind and you knew how to connect to your Lionheart breathing, and you snap your Braveheart love band, and to keep yourself in the present moment, this would never happen. And also, I will say this. If you get a consult and spend $150, which nobody charges $150 in the world for what we do, okay, I will tell you what's left over. What's left over? We have $9 left over from a consult. Okay, after we pay Sharon, greedy little Sharon, and pay for the dial pad and everything else, we have $9 left over. But it's not about that. You can walk away. You could walk away from a Perfect Day consult and not buy any products, and you will have the makings of the perfect day from the minute you rise until you gently close your eyes at the end of the day. And then you can call Sharon and terrorize her. And you can, I'm kidding. But you can call your practitioner, or you can call me, and we're never going to say you too many calls, or no, you can't get in touch with someone, or you'll have to send us an email, and then it'll never be answered. And understand, we don't do email, we don't do text, we do human beings. And human beings need to hear the voice of other human beings. And one question leads to another. And wouldn't it be great if you did an email and the question came back and you had to do another question and then the answer came back? This is all meant to actually make you feel like you're stupid. And you're not stupid. There's a genius in everyone, eh, Sharon?
There is, absolutely. And to understand that this step of honoring yourself to book a perfect day consultation is the first step for you regaining that you are now this human being rather than a human doing. It's about centering yourself in that place of self-care.
And understand, I am going to market the heck out of the consultations because if you want, you can take a look. The money's not there. But the reality is if we can't get people to understand one law, one love, unconditional love and self-care for themselves. Okay, go ahead. Do all the convoys you want. Do all the protests you want. But how many people that are even doing that love, honor, and respect themselves on what they eat, drink, and think and how they treat themselves and everyone else? You can't give what you're not. And I'm not putting down the convoys. I'm not putting down the protests. But understand, convoys and protests have been going on since the beginning of time. They used to do it on horseback, okay? And understand something. The first time that they ever did masks, okay, they were made out of steel. Go take a look. Mm-hmm. Look thousands of years ago, okay?
That's right.
Yeah, now it's just diapers.
Yeah. So it trap all that bacteria.
Yeah, that's
Just
right.
Breathe
Yeah.
it right back in.
Yeah. So, how do I diagnose my autoimmune? So I'm not throwing everything and kitchen sink at it. Well, first of all, Andrea, you can't diagnose an autoimmune. An autoimmune is symptoms. So they're just symptoms. So what do you have? Oh, I have lack of energy. I got headaches. I've got inflammation. I've got stiffness. Okay, I've got swelling. All of these things are you being out of alignment with your authentic you. And I can say that, okay? And there's going to be people who come on here like yesterday, right? And they just can't think outside the box. You know what? The thing that just blows my mind, Sharon? Dr. Wolf, I need change. I don't want to be sick anymore. But please don't give me anything new to think about. And for God's sakes, don't think outside the box. And please don't take me anywhere that my dysfunctional beliefs are keeping me, because if you do, then I will tell everyone that you're the devil. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I exaggerate everything. I know it. But gosh, you know what? They don't let me out of my cage very much, and I'm having fun. Yeah. And the reality is I mean what I'm saying. And you're not, if you want to terrorize yourself, you go ahead, but you can't terrorize us anymore.
Yeah, and
if you
want to
come
feel
on our show,
uncomfortable.
you need to respect the people that I bring on my show. And if you don't like me, that's okay with me. You don't have to, but guess what? I need to love all of you.
Absolutely.
Because that is the deal.
And we need to be uncomfortable in order to be able to push through those dysfunctional beliefs.
That's right. And you got to love people, even
Yes.
if their beliefs don't match yours.
Yeah.
Listen, Andrea,
okay.
if you take a look in your life, if you've got an autoimmune disease, that means you've been attacking yourself with dysfunctional beliefs that aren't yours. That's all, sweetheart. Get a consultation, and then guess what? Then I want you to call me up at 855-900-4544, extension 5, after 6 weeks and tell me it wasn't worth the money, and we'll give it right back.
Yep.
Because listen to me. How would you like to have a friend? How would you like to have someone that you can talk to that doesn't judge you? You know what, Sharon? Anyways, I want to tell you something. So what I did was I took the consult from you, and then last night, okay, I went out and I had a big pizza, okay, and I woke up bloated with a migraine today. Okay, we're going to find out why did your mind sucker punch you to do that? Was it because he was good looking and he wanted pizza? Or was it the fungus, because at nighttime your fungus come out and go, feed me. And they want flour, don't they? They want gluten. So it wasn't you that wanted it, it was the fungus that wanted it. Now Sharon will be able to know if it was that good looking guy, okay, that ordered triple cheese, okay, or whether it was your little candida fungus screaming it's time to breed and eat. Mm-hmm. And so it's around 8 o'clock at night and we're hungry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the munchie. I'm just feeling a little munchy.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm feeling a little snacky, honey. Would you like a glass of wine? Yes. Would you like, hey, you know that ice cream? I think we have a little bit left. Yeah, I know. You only bought 10 quarts.
Yes, exactly. We'll just finish that last bucket and we won't buy any more.
Yeah. Let's see who gets to the bottom first.
Exactly. Oh, it's the ripple, caramel
Yeah.
ripple.
Yeah, okay. The link to Zoom is not above the video on Facebook. Can someone post it, please?
It is above.
It is above. And can you please tell me what it is or write it down on a paper so we can mention it every 5 minutes?
Okay.
Okay, we want to pretend we want them on the show. Okay?
Someone was asking about
I'm
chlorella
71 and
spirulina.
I have had an AP. What's an AP? Sharon, can you please tell me what an AP is? And yeah, we could guess, but I don't want to. I received, okay, one sec. Hold on. Is Zoom a drink? No, Toby. Zoom is something you come on. But we did open up the Jungle Juice Bar here, and guess what? Oh, you ready for this? So, my container, okay, that's been sitting for 6 months. Okay, let me just tell you the story, and then we're here to answer all the questions, and I'll want you guys to go back through these questions for us. But listen, the container was supposed to leave 5 times. And then guess what? Just by accident, there was a storm in British Columbia that took out every highway. Never happened in history before. Nobody knows how it happened, though. And it had nothing to do with the psycho tyrants out there. Okay, so listen. So then we couldn't get that. So now we finally got it loaded at 6:30 last night. So we have a $35,000 juicer that doesn't oxidize, doesn't hurt any of the vitamins, none of the minerals, but mainly the enzymes are all intact. Everything is intact, and it comes out as a nectar, not as a juice. Is it? What do you think of it?
Oh,
What do you
I
think?
can't. I can. I'm already dreaming about it.
So-
my mouth is watering.
And anyway, so that's what we have at the juice bar. We also have here, if you decide to come, we have fresh coconuts, okay, that we'll open up, put a straw in for you. I mean, come on, what kind of service is that? Okay, and then if you want, we'll put the coconut juice into a container for you, and we'll cut the meat out, and then we'll give you the meat so you can eat it throughout the day. So what else are we doing? Well, we're making, we've got organic popsicles. We've got about, we'll have about 10 different popsicles.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And we are also making natural lemonade with honey or maple syrup. And I'm not done yet.
Oh my gosh.
So you know you ever hear the lemonade cleanse? That's where you have lemonade, cayenne, and honey. Well, we're going to have that hot to drink. We also have 2-liter containers of daily cleansing tea, so people can come and get it. Okay, because you know what my grandmother used to say? No, Daryl, your grandfather's not grumpy. He's just constipated. Anyway, so we want to make sure that everybody here is lightening the load,
Yes.
so to speak.
Going with the flow.
That's right. So let me see. Was there anything else we're doing?
Smoothies?
Oh, we
Did you
got
mention
smoothies. Yeah, we got all
Yeah.
kinds of smoothies, all organic.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
So beautiful.
And we guarantee that our price will be 30 to 40% cheaper than anybody else, even if they're not using organic. How's that?
Beautiful.
Is that a fair deal?
Absolutely. And the carrot juice tastes like it is just, it's like a orange
juicer.
nectar of, like,
It's the
it's so
juicer.
sweet. I mix that with 80% beet and 20% carrot, and it's just like, it's like this sugar, oh, it's so
Okay, I
beautiful.
got one more story. Can I?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm like a kid in a candy jar. Listen to me. This one story.
So excited.
I know. If you heard it before, then, go to the bathroom and lighten the load. But I got to tell you this story. So anyways, we've got the one juicer. And to make this juice, it takes a little longer. Well, doesn't everything in life, if you just took a little longer, if you connected to your breath, if you just talked a little slower, if you just put your heart into it, well, anyways, our juicer,
Patience.
it teaches us patience because what it does is that it grinds the vegetable down, but it grinds it down so there's absolutely no heat, and it mulches it down. And then when it compresses it with thousands of pounds, so that it squeezes all the juice out without any heat. And it does it really slow, like real slow, because that's anything that you love. Please give it extra time, and I promise you won't run out of time. Okay, you might run out of love. Okay, now, so anyways, I was saying to Lori, I said we got to have another juicer because we sell a lot of juice down there.
Yes.
If I told you how much juice we sell, it's amazing. So I go, we got to get the big boy. So this Good Nature juicer that we have was $30,000. So now the big boy That's 50,000 US. And I'm from Canada. There's a 25% difference. Okay. So we go looking around, and I'm trying to find one in Canada, and then I go on Craigslist, and I go, oh my gosh, it's there. I call the guy up, and he says, yeah, my brother bought it, and then he went under, and I've stored it for him. And guess what? The juicer was on for $7,500. Now, please don't think bad of me. Okay, I said, well, you know, and I'll be honest with you, we would love that juicer, but the thing is, you know, we put almost, I don't know, since we come here, almost $200,000 into this project alone. So I said, well, can you do me a better price? How about $5,000? So we got this brand new juicer, was used for 8 months and then stored for a year. And guess what? My container was leaving 4 days later, and it got loaded on the container last night, and it'll be in here in
sweet.
4 to 6 weeks.
Oh my gosh. The never-ending container.
Yeah. But anyways, this juicer's 431 pounds. Isn't that cool? And this sucker, okay, we are going to be giving people with what we're doing, or we're also making just the best tasting black bean soup in the world. And there's a few other things, but I won't get into those. So what we're doing, we're not a restaurant, but what we're doing is we are a nutritional center. We're going to be giving more people, and I can prove this if I were to look at the stats, we're going to be giving people more nutrition in one day than they get all week.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so beautiful. It's like an addiction. So every day it's like, oh, do I need beet or celery?
And
or
just for the
carrots?
fun of it,
Yeah.
how many people have come down here for 2 weeks and they're still here after 6 months?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, they change their plans.
Yeah.
Like right away.
Yeah.
Or they come down for one course and they go, you know what? I need to do another course. That has
Yeah.
happened
Yeah,
many times.
most people are staying for 3 courses
Yeah.
to become a master practitioner.
Yeah.
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 But wouldn't you want to master your mind? Wouldn't you want to master your life? Wouldn't you want to walk in confidence, and when you smell BS, you just look and you turn the other way and you don't partake in it anymore? Let's get started. Okay. Here we go.
Hi, Dawn, by
Sylvia,
the way.
no, let's do Sylvia. Cysts in her breasts.
Yes.
And often urine infection. Okay, so should I take it away and you jump in, or do you want to take it away and jump in?
I can take it away.
Okay,
So
you
then-
know what? That's the thing, eh? She'll always do that. She won't hand it back to me. Okay, all right. Okay,
It's mine.
This is a woman that has cysts the size of ovaries. Ovaries. I almost cursed you. We're talking about cysts.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly. We're
let's do it.
talking about cysts and
Okay.
urine infection.
Okay.
And that was anyways. So the holy grail of the body is our large intestine.
It's Sylvia.
And
I really hope I'm
So-
closer than you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Well, you're closer into the thing.
Okay.
So the holy grail of the body is our large intestine. And so when we are backed up because we're not going with the flow because we have an inflammatory diet.
And none of us
inflammatory
know that we're
lifestyle.
backed up. And guess what? I get backed up when I don't drink enough water. Because water's the key, not fiber. But if you were to do a perfect day diet and then just drink hot water all day, and if you drank 3 to 4 quarts, none of this 8 glasses, who told you that? Okay? Please stop. Okay? If you love the plant, water it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's hot structured water. So
Hot
many people think,
structured water.
oh, you know what, hot water makes me ill.
Hot structured.
Well,
There's a
you-
structure unit. You see, it never wears out, never breaks down.
It's beautiful.
Use it for 90 days. And if you think that we took your money on you, just give it back. Okay?
Absolutely.
And then we'll give you your money back.
Yeah.
All right.
And so hot structured water. And when we do our dishes, do we wash our dishes in cool water or warm water when we really want to scrub things out? No, we use hot water.
And guess what? And when you use structured water, now you added soap to your cleaning because you've just taken away all the surface tension. And what I'm trying to say is that when you structure things, it'll like a water droplet has 2,500 to 3,000 layers. They're very thin layers. And it stretches them out like a choo-choo train, so the water goes directly into the aquaporin, which is a channel that every cell has to allow water to come in. Take it away, Sharon.
Yes, and so that water, now that it's ionized, it's also removed the memory of the water because now the frequency has been changed, but we've also reduced the surface tension by over 1,000%. And so if a mosquito was to land on a little drop of like structured water, or the other water that's non-structured, it will actually sink into the structured water droplet. And so what we want to do, because we have such an inflammatory lifestyle, because
No, we
we're
have an
stressed.
inflammatory mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inflammatory
The
mind.
The mind creates everything.
Yep.
Because your prominent dominant beliefs are housed in your subconscious, which is 90% of your brain.
That's
Okay,
right.
what a dirty little trickster somebody was. Because the reality is your brain is only as smart as your beliefs. That's why we're in big trouble here in the world right now, because you didn't know it, but those beliefs aren't yours. They were the same people that you grumble about and complain about, which you should just ignore
Yes.
and mind your own business and create new beliefs. Go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, and we're chased by that paper tiger, this paralyzing and fear and all
Yeah.
these kinds of things, right? So we're stressed. And
Every
because-
time, whether it's real or not real, and you go and imagine that thing that happened even 30 years ago, your body is going through the same thing that it did when that drama happened. Whether or not you were raped, whether or not somebody stole from you, or whether or not somebody broke your heart every time you tell well, you don't know what my life is like. And then you tell that story for the millionth time because you want everybody to know what kind of a good sufferer you are. Because in this world, the more we suffer, the closer we get to heaven. I'm not sure. I think it would be hell, actually.
Yeah.
But the reality is that whether it's a paper tiger or a real tiger, your mind doesn't know the difference. So put that in your back pocket and make sure it stays there. Go ahead.
Yeah, and as we're being chased by that paper tiger, we're like dripping adrenaline or histamine or cortisol.
And
in
it's
our
not
system.
just a drip.
Yeah, it's like
it'll
pouring.
flood your body eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the
just
pelvis.
put you on fire. And so with that, okay, so let's talk about the pelvis. So because we have such an inflammatory lifestyle as far as what we eat, we got the little munchies, whatever, and there's putrefaction because we are not, the large intestine is not flowing properly because what we're putting in here is the highway to health, but it can be the highway to hell. And so we're eating processed foods, we're eating processed thoughts, we're not living a healthy lifestyle. So the large intestine gets impacted and
Well, you know
starts
what?
to putrefy.
How many of you can let go of anger? How many of you can let go of hate? How many of you can let go? How many of you can go with the flow? Well, you're not going to, because you're not going to mind your own business, because it's so easy to threaten you, to make you fearful. And it's like this, I got to be alert. I got to be ready because it's coming, because it's coming, because it's coming. Now, we didn't need these psycho terrorists to do this. We were already doing this with our own family. We were doing this with our own mind already. Think about it. Before all this stuff happened 2 years ago, tell me you weren't already fearful. Tell me you already weren't running anxiety programs. Tell me that you weren't walking around with a broken heart, Sharon. Tell me.
I was a master at the broken heart.
Yeah, okay.
And then I just told my story again, and then it just broke it again and again and again. Not no more.
No.
No, not no more.
No, because you found your lover.
Yeah,
And it was
myself.
always under the cover. And it was her. Because once you learn how to love and care for yourself, you shine this light. Now when she goes to meet someone, they're not going to be looking for a victim. Oh, I just need to find a victim that I can abuse, or I need to find a victim, okay, that I can fix. Oh, can't wait to get me one of those. Okay.
Because like attracts like.
That's right. So get off that bike. Okay. So anyway, so now that colon that everybody has learned to disrespect, okay, because with most it's falling down and in or falling down and out, and that's called the what? The spare tire, okay? All right? So that colon is losing its tone because the intestine is a muscle. So as it loses more tone and as you take more antibiotics and as you take more donuts,
Yes.
as you get snacky
Yes.
at nighttime and throughout the day with the flour, the sugar, the dairy, the GMOs, you're putting holes through your intestine, that large intestine, which makes it a screen door in a submarine. Now you're pooping in your pelvis, and it's called the pelvic bowl, which you fill up with infection, and then that infection, okay, then goes in, and guess what? What does infection cause? Pus. Okay? If I have infection anywhere in my body, pus comes out. And that pus is dead bacteria and dead tissue, decomposing tissue that I need to get rid of. So here's the deal. And what was her name? Can we go back, please?
You have a better way of
the lady.
pronouncing it. Yeah,
Can you
so
please
back
scroll,
up.
please? No, back here. Over here. Yes, that's right. Now scroll back up, please. Scroll.
I don't think there's a scroll on it.
Yeah, there is.
Sawia?
Okay, so we need to be able to scroll.
Yes.
There is a scroll. So I have new people working for me, and they can't scroll, but they will be able to.
Oh, there's scrolling?
Yeah, there is. So now,
Okay, they're scrolling.
no, you're not. Go down, please. The other way.
Go down.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Move it again.
Okay. You guys figure this out and let me know when you do. So now what happens is your body will create a cyst on any organ tissue that it needs to hold the overload of infection and pus that's in the body. Okay? Now, this infection and pus, would you rather you had ovarian cancer or ovarian cysts? Those cysts, if we were to be able, is this the truth? If you were to get yourself on daily cleansing tea, black gold, well, get yourself a perfect day consultation. That's where you need to go. Because everybody that calls us, right, what do they want? Hi, Dr. Wolf, can you give me can you give me a Band-Aid? Okay, because everybody uses the medical model. Okay, so when it's broke, stick a Band-Aid on it, and then we'll see you later when it breaks again somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay?
And all those toxins and infections get absorbed by the surrounding tissues, which is your uterus, your
fallopian tubes, your bladder.
your
And so
prostate.
this same person will have bladder infections. She's had bowel problems because you have to have bowel problems. She'll say, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is you have, but what we consider to be a normal bowel movement is not a normal bowel movement. Okay? All right? So because most people do not have normal bowel movements. If you do my daily cleansing tea and you get a 3-month supply of that, and you were to do it morning and night, would they ever come off it again?
No, they wouldn't.
And you would never tell me that you can't afford a medium cup of coffee again, which is the price of the tea. You would never do it because the Royal Society of Medicine, they did the most major study ever, and they proved that 85%, okay, 85% of all symptoms, which means diseases, okay, came from a dysfunctional large intestine. Okay. So now, if you want to get rid of the cysts, there are pus packets. We got to go back and we got to see what are you eating, what are you drinking, and you might want to see what you're thinking too. Now, if you say, well, my mother had cysts and then she had ovarian cancer, so, oh my God, it is genetic. None of this is genetic. You can't show me a genetic disease out there. And even when they say that there is a genetic disease, I'm calling BS, a dysfunctional belief system, because understand something. My father had 3 heart surgeries. He died of leukemia. My mother died of lung and tongue cancer, and they both died before 55. I'll be 66, and I'm just getting started.
And try to keep up with you.
Okay, let's see here. If like attracts like, then how do opposites attract? Well, here you have to understand something. There are certain things that, and who asked this? Connie. There are certain things, Connie, okay? Well, for one thing, if somebody was totally different, you would not be with them.
No.
The reason why we come together and opposites attract is I actually come together with Sharon because I have the ability to show Sharon her dysfunctional beliefs if she will allow me. And Sharon has the ability, if she was awake, to show me my dysfunctional beliefs if I would allow her. But we don't. We come together as man and wife, to death do us part, okay? For richer or poor, for healthness and sickness, not in 2 spirit beings coming together to raise each other's vibration and go, you know what, Sharon? I don't know, but just a second ago, and just know that I love you, but I just felt like I wanted to stab you in the eye. Now, so she would want to run.
That's happened a few times.
No, I'm just kidding. I was just
teasing.
kidding. I'm trying to put a little humor here,
Yeah.
but maybe that wasn't so humorous. But the reality is that with my partner, Lori, she will actually tell me something, and I am totally open to it. In a relationship, the person says, I didn't mean that. Yes, you did. You always hurt me. You always say that. I didn't mean it. Yes, you're a prick. So here's the deal. The person who said something doesn't know that they didn't say it right. The person that got the information didn't take it right. Men and women, okay, became enemies about 5,000 years ago when religion and government, and this is true, why don't you go do your homework, decided that if they could get men and women to fight, husband and wife, okay, that they could control human beings. Don't believe me, don't really care. Go watch I Am Woman. And when I say I don't care, it's because guess what? People are going, I don't believe him. I don't believe him. So whatever. But go watch I Am Woman, my video in my library. I've got the research in there, and it shows it all. And understand something. Let me tell you something right now. I want to take every woman down that I can. They live longer. They're stronger. Okay? And men have such, I'm not going to say big egos. They have most men have very little confidence because I don't believe that the ego exists. I don't. I don't believe the ego exists. So what do you better kill your ego right now. No, you better get confident, learn how to love yourself and shine your light. Oh, you better kill your ego, Daryl. No, I'm confident about what I do. This is not about being ego. This is about being an eagle and flying above the you-know-what.
Well, and that's a negative connotation when you put ego on that. And so when we talk to ourselves,
Why do we
and the
always have
words
to
that
kill
we
something?
use, yeah, we
Kill
do.
the cancer.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Okay? You know,
It's
the X.
It's the teacher.
You know, I thank God I got rid of the X.
Yes.
Okay? Or what? The old lady. Okay. So, you know what? Let's just watch our mouths, okay?
Very
Let's just
careful.
watch our mouths, okay? Because they've programmed us to treat each other and treat our own selves with disrespect. And that's why they can pull our pants down and then pull the diaper down and then put it on our face.
Just think that when you speak words that you're speaking to your little girl or your little boy,
Yeah.
and would you speak that way
Why don't you
to
pretend?
that little girl?
Why don't you just pretend that you're in love with yourself, completely in love with yourself, and that you're going to be patient with yourself? Why don't you just pretend, okay, that you are the everything to you? Why don't you just pretend that you are your best friend? Why don't you pretend that you come first? And you know what? You can put yourself first, and your children will not do without. They will love that you love yourself. Someone's saying the volume's too low, guys, on YouTube. Is it too low? Okay, so understand something. One law, one love, unconditional love for ourselves and everyone else. Listen, if I can learn to love everyone and love this world that I'm in, because guess what? Guys, you don't get this. The world's never changed for thousands of years, and it's never going to change. When you play Monopoly, you're not playing Scrabble. Okay, the psycho elite, they are here just like the sun is here. It will rise every day, and they will rise up against you every day. It's what you do and holding the line and saying, you know what? Don't care.
I'm not playing your
Sharon,
game
what do
anymore.
I do? What do I do with people who want to go on and do a trauma in my face? What do I do?
Stop. Stop right now.
Stop right now,
I'm not going to
sweetie.
put up
Stop
with your
right now. We're not-
temper
We
tantrum.
don't say that. I do not say that. She just said that. You just know this, okay? Okay, that's it. I
Because
want
I've
you
had one.
off the show.
I've had one. So I talk to myself about
Okay.
what I have
Okay,
had.
but I will tell you that, I have done it to Sharon, okay? I've said that to her, and then she would get and have a tantrum right there after I say, please stop. Because she was determined that she was going to tell me the hell that her life was in, and I was going to listen because I'm her doctor. Boy, are you foolish. So here's the deal. It's his story. It's not really your story. We have bought into their beliefs, and then we live this terrorizing picture that we've created with their beliefs. So I don't ignorantly stop people, do I?
No,
I just go,
absolutely not.
please stop,
Absolutely,
please stop.
yes.
You can't tell this story again. We've got, what's the problem? Let's only focus on the solution from this second on and stay in the present moment with your breathing. Just breathe in 3 times, Lionheart breath. Come on, you can do this. Okay? All right?
Put yourself into the parasympathetic
No, but honestly,
state.
the stronger you are, the more pissed off you're going to be at me.
Yeah.
right? Did you ever, during this whole training thing that you've been in the last 6 months, did you have any hate for me or just?
You know what? What ended up happening with me, because I had already worked diligently on the Braveheart 12 Loving Steps.
Thank
is it
God for
tried
me.
to come up. I watched it coming up. And
Okay.
it was like, that was when I needed to take my own little time out and go and just work through the emotions that were trying to take control of me and really give myself an opportunity. And tears happened. Absolutely. I'll be honest
And
with
I
you.
want to be fair too. This is one heck of a strong woman. And the stronger that you are, if you're running dysfunctional beliefs, the more dangerous you are to yourself. To yourself, I said.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when you can get rid of beliefs that were never yours, but you didn't know it, but they were the strongest beliefs of your life. So the strongest beliefs of your life weren't even yours and they were working against you, but how do you get conscious enough to get into the subconscious to get rid of these unconscious beliefs that you run?
Right.
There's the trick.
Yeah. That is
Right?
the trick. And for
So-
me, it was like taking these layers and working on my body
Yeah.
and working on my emotions and not really working, funneling through this channel as far as this journey goes, and being very diligent and being very determined that I am not going to continue to have these dysfunctional beliefs and these emotions take control of me anymore. And I just had another really profound experience that ended up happening just the other day in regards to the heart release, in regards to opening that area
We
up.
should talk about that. It's pretty powerful.
It is.
Can I tell it and
Yeah,
then you take over?
absolutely.
Okay, so-
Absolutely. It's so powerful.
So understand something, everyone. And this is really, truly important, okay? So think about this. Your mind, your heart, and your pelvis. That's it.
Yeah.
They call it gut-brain connection, but it's actually large intestine, heart, brain connection. But it is the pelvis, okay? It's our testicles and our, excuse my language, you know, that thing that men have. Okay, I don't even want to say it because then people come on here and go, what is this, a sex show? Okay, so anyways, but the reality is when we poison our groin area, we poison our whole life, and they know it. They know it. If they can create a swamp down there, okay, from a leaky large intestine, which is everyone. I mean, why do you think children have fevers? Why do you think they can't sleep at night? Why do they have tummy aches? They don't have tummy aches. They have constipation, but the parent doesn't even know it. Some little turd comes out, oh, that's good, honey. You did a really good job because mommy didn't even have one of those for 8 days. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, let's
I'm
get-
glad you got that out today.
But here's the deal. The mind is a landmine if you don't go in there and do your homework. And as far as I'm concerned, you can come and take the New World Practitioner course, even if you want to be a practitioner, and you will change your life. But if you go home to a bunch of terrorists that don't want to love themselves, you are going to have to work your butt off, and it will be a tug of war. I mean, did it really take 3? It took 3 times for you to release your heart. 3 courses of coming 22 times. Then you're going to go, oh, that's too much.
It was
Well,
actually
guess what?
number 5.
How many people, yeah, but that was the heart release stuff.
Yeah, that's
but how
right.
many people actually live a beautiful, pleasurable, exciting life all the time? We do. It is we do not allow, okay, temper tantrums from ourselves. We do not allow, oh, it's time to get depressed, okay, it's time to do this. You're all running programs, so just get it. Now, here we go. So anyways, the heart is the recorder of all your love affairs, but mainly the love affair with yourself. How many of you can actually go to a mirror right now and look in the mirror and go, I love you, Daryl. I love you so much. I'm going to protect you, respect you. I'm going to honor you. I'm going to hold the Braveheart line. I'm going to start making mindful, in the moment, conscious decisions on everything we eat, drink, and think. And I am not going to allow anyone in my family to disrespect me. I will let them know that I love them, but there's a new sheriff in town. And then hold that line. So here's the deal. So I just know this, and I've never really sat down and really talked to her about it, but I guarantee you that every relationship started off with fireworks for Sharon and then atomic bombs.
Bingo. Atomic bombs, yes.
Yeah.
Fireworks and atomic bombs. And it was pretty much that way with my own relationship with myself.
Yeah, and me too.
And
but,
you.
But you know what? She was a 9.5 out of 10. Okay? All right. So anyways, so here's the deal, and it doesn't matter who comes to the course. Everybody usually has tons of scar tissue like a fist around their heart, or their heart's calcified and crystallized. And understand something, you can believe it or not, but you can have a 95% physical blockage in your arteries, and we will reverse that in 6 weeks. You heard what I said, and you better get it. And I'm not kidding. Okay, so now, I'm not going to get into the how and the why, because then that becomes a marketing tool, and we can't do that. And then you'll think I'm a tool, right? So here's the deal. So the heart grows all this scar tissue and takes calcium from your ribs, your clavicle, okay, and even your spine, to go in and calcify, to actually buffer down the acidity, which started off as emotional toxicity. Because it always has to buffer it down, because the pH in your bloodstream and the pH in your heart muscle must remain alkaline. And if it doesn't, then you will die. You will. You'll die. You will not be here. So here's the deal. So the calcium gets pulled, and then that causes hardening of the arteries, but it gets calcified in the heart tissue. Now the heart has a harder time beating, so that it can even grow bigger. It tries to grow bigger. So now here's the deal. Every emotion of love, or the lack of it, goes in the heart. My father, I already told you earlier in the show, had a triple bypass heart surgery, and he had 3 heart surgeries, and then he died of leukemia. So dying of leukemia is a self-hate trip. I'm not going to get into the whole philosophy of it, but here's the deal. So anyways, everybody needs a heart release. When people come here, we tell them to do a heart release and do their spine and their pelvis first. Yeah, but I've got a knee problem. Yeah, I know. But understand, if you were to come and get, I don't care who you are. Daryl, stay close to the mic, because that's the best sound. Can you please turn up the volume, guys?
Yeah, volume's up.
Okay. So anyways, so you do the same thing, Sharon. If I have
Okay.
to get close to the mic, so do you. Okay?
Okay.
So anyways, where was I?
About the heart and about the release and how everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we tell everyone, and people that come here that are in good shape, they need 20 hours of non-surgical. Now you're going to think that we're trying to take your money, are we?
No.
No. How many joints do you have? You have wrists, you have your finger joints, you have your elbow, you have your shoulders, you have your neck. Everybody, I can tell you right now, all the lymph nodes in your neck are totally congested, and your neck is totally in spasm because of all the stress that you do. So your vagus nerve is actually frozen, which is called a wandering nerve, which actually helps to get you back into a parasympathetic state. But if you don't go in and get rid of the scar tissue and allow the congestion from your lymph nodes to be out of that around your neck, then you can't get into a parasympathetic state, which is a healing state. So understand, when people come here and they actually have chronic physical problems that are really bad, right? And understand, whether it's been a sport injury or whether it's been a car accident, after the healing, everybody needs to get worked on. Did you hear what I just said? So think about all the injuries you have, and then you're going to find out those injuries are going to give you a cane, a walker, a wheelchair, and the nursing home. You're limping already from them. You don't have the range of motion. You have stiffness. You have pain. How about we give you a money-back guarantee that in the first treatment, we'll prove that we can reverse this stuff. Okay, now let's get back to the heart.
The heart.
The heart's like any other muscle, so it calcifies, gets scar tissue crystallization. And we actually go in there with Wolf Non-Surgical, the body work we do. And we go in there and we start pulling the fibers apart. We get people on the ionic calcium therapy to get the calcium back into the ribs and the clavicle and into their spine that's in the heart. But take it away, Sharon. You can tell the stories of your different heart releases.
Yes, exactly. And in the first 3 courses, Daryl had gone.
Oh, and clapping. Don't forget, guys, if
Clapping.
you want to learn something,
Yeah.
do the clapping. Go to the Clapping for Life for Health guide
Yeah.
in the library and do the clapping your heart and,
And lungs.
And buy yourself a clapper. It's
Yeah.
under equipment on my website. And guess what? You want to know something? Unleash the genius practitioner that you are.
And
Okay, go
clapping
ahead.
is such a beautiful way to connect,
go ahead,
connect
sweetie.
with self.
And if you bruise, that means that you've got tissue rotting.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you clap, you bring the poison to the surface. So if you were healthy, if you were a healthy little fruit, you would not bruise. Okay, so unhealthy fruit bruises.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
It's yes, definitely.
And that's why
the darker it is,
that's why
more
the
healthy it
psycho
is.
tyrants that are on the planet right now, they go after the low hanging fruit that fell on the ground, because that's the people that are falling on the ground. Go
Absolutely.
ahead, sweetie.
Yeah, so the first course that I took of the non-surgical as well as the whole life coach, Daryl did. There's the clapper, beautiful, amazing. And so he had worked doing a heart release, but he couldn't get near the heart because I had so much calcification within my sternum and along my solar plexus and in the lower part of my breast and that area, because there was just so much emotional baggage that my heart was holding as far as the heartache. And so the second one, he did another. So as we moved forward, I come down to Ixtapa. And this was because I did the training in the first, I actually took the course in the first 3, and then now I'm assisting training. So it was actually technically course number 5 of the whole life coach. That I said to Daryl, I was having these meditations where when I said the word love, I felt like something was hitting like a wall, like the love couldn't come out, and there was something within my meditations. But I also had this sensitivity that was just sitting under the surface, and it didn't matter how much mirror work I did and all these wonderful things, and I've been eating following the Perfect Day diet for now a couple of years, and really working the protocols. And so I knew that there was something that was up, and so I asked you a few times, and I finally ended. So
Well, you know
anyways,
what?
because
Okay.
I'm strong-minded.
Okay, she wasn't ready.
No.
She wasn't ready, and you know what? No matter how bad the tantrum was, if I did it and it backfired in her face, then it would all come back on me. When you do a heart release on somebody, they have to be ready. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, anyways,
And needed to be so ready for what was coming up. And I believe that Daryl had some suspicions as to what we were dealing with because of my, background and because of my sensitivity.
issue. Okay, I'm gonna tell a little story and we'll come right back to you.
Sure.
So, anyways, I went away this weekend, right?
Uh-huh.
And so Raphael, they
Yeah.
came away too, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, it's like we're just starting to chill out on the deck, watching the ocean come in. And 10:30 at night, I go, oh, Raph's calling. I wonder what this is. Well, why is he calling? Hey, Daryl, what? I need to come up right now. I need a heart release. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh, that's funny. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Well,
That's-
you know what? And can I come up? Are you okay? The reality is when you know you need it and it's time to let go.
You got to let it go.
Yeah.
You got to go with the flow.
Yeah.
And I
okay.
was at that point, and so it was like, okay, Daryl. Yeah. Okay, so we ended up, so he laid me down, and it was in front of, I believe there was probably about 40.
I laid you down.
I laid down.
Okay.
Got me to lay down.
You
on
know,
the
we
mat.
got to watch this.
Yes, exactly. It's a family show.
That's it.
So, anyways, so on the mat I went,
Okay.
and I am so willing to be a person that can help anybody learn, and I knew that this would probably be a fairly interesting learning experience for the students in the course, and didn't really realize to what extent it would be, and also for myself. So it's
you
about
kind of realize because she says, I need a heart release today. And I go, okay, we'll do it today. Well, when? And I go, let me just figure this out, okay? And anyway, so then when I lay her down, okay, Anyways, I go to her, I go, because I want everybody to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I go, Sharon, do you really want this? She
And-
says yes. And I go, and I asked her 2 more times, didn't I?
Yeah, 3 times in total.
3 times I asked her, I said, do you really want this? Because when you can connect to another human being, you know what you're doing. You know you can feel them. We just want to make sure that they process it. See, you have to understand, even if it's just a problem in your knee and it's a scar tissue issue, when we go in and release the scar tissue in the knee, there will be an emotional release, because there is no physical disease unless there's an emotional disease locked into it. And that would be an emotional dysfunctional thought that you can't process. But the knee is not like the heart.
No.
The lungs are more attached to emotion than the knee. The kidneys more than the knee. The liver more than the knee. The joints are not as attached emotionally. But when it comes to organs,
Oh, yes.
that's where the emotions are. And every organ
Oh,
has
yes.
specific
emotions
emotions
associated with
that
it.
will heal it
Yeah.
or bring it down.
That's right. If you haven't dealt with them, those emotions
And
get
that's-
trapped
and
in
guess
those
what?
tissues.
And that's in the manual that we give you
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
do the consult. And
Yeah.
it's not about, oh God, well, now we give you a free manual. Go. No, this is the best
It is.
self-care, self-love manual, I think, in the world. So I will be challenged on that if you'd like. Go ahead, tell your story.
Okay.
love.
So I ended up getting down on the mat, and so Daryl asked me 3 times during this whole process, and he went in there just in the surrounding areas, not really, and he had never really got onto the heart spot.
It's called the
before
heart
this.
spot.
Yes.
And for some people, please don't take it wrong, I call it the God spot. Because it's a very small spot, but the reality is this, okay? When you go into that heart spot, God spot, and if you release that properly, go ahead, Sharon.
Change your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so he went in the surrounding area once, and then I needed to take a little bit of a breather, and he went in and again, and I took a little bit of a breather, and then he confirmed that I was ready for this. He felt that my body was pushing him out, which can happen, absolutely. And then because Daryl is really connected to his breath and really connected to this, we're connected energetically. And so then I said, I am ready, and I did some breath work and really got into a meditative place. And so he went into around the surrounding areas, and then he went into the heart, and then all of a sudden his elbow just dropped, like about a half an inch
Yeah.
down
well,
into
in
my
between
chest.
a quarter and a half.
Yes. And I was like, I looked at him, I was like, what the heck? It felt like it actually felt like a cracking egg, is the only way, the shell of a cracking egg. That
But
when-
not in a
Not in a
there's
not in a
nothing
painful
aggressive here,
way.
people. So don't
Not
go
in a
down
painful
that road.
way.
You know what? Everybody is just like,
Yeah. Yeah, no.
don't
I
go
just
down
wanna
that road.
really
There was
clarify.
nothing aggressive about
Yeah.
this.
Nothing aggressive. Tender, loving, caring for the body and
Yeah.
for the heart and for what I needed to do to
And the
move
emotion that
past
wanted
this
to,
emotion.
the emotion that was
block.
ready to be released
Yeah.
because she needed to move on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I was totally ready for it. So nowhere, shape, or form was there any fear. And actually, there was no pain there. It was just a sensation of this kind of cracking. And so I looked at Daryl, and he looked at me. And then it was like there was a lot of kind of confusion that ended up happening within my body, because what it actually was a heart drop. And the heart had become so inflamed from heartache and emotions that had not been dealt with, and the emotions that I ended up spewing within myself as far as the heartache and all the sensitivity, and this person did this to me and that person did that to me.
It was locked
Yeah.
up against, okay, if that's her ribs, it was locked up against her rib cage. So what do you think that would do to the beautiful flow and the beat? You know, it's like, how would you like to have something holding you down or holding you back? So, you know, that's like this. And then it went bop. And there was a noise and there was a drop. And I got to tell you, I've done a lot of heart drops and I've done a lot of heart work. But I'll tell you, I was a little bit of, I mean, because when it happens, it's just like,
You just don't know how somebody is really, I mean, you hope, not hope, but you anticipate that this person is
Ready.
prepared for it and ready for it. And I confirmed it. And so, and that was where I was at.
And
It takes a strong person.
and I told her, I said, right when that happened, I said, listen, you know, after, because first when she had that, then you get, what you do, as soon as something like that happens, what happens, and it happens with everyone, I said, tell me what you're feeling right now.
Yeah.
And what you're feeling will be what actually caused her heart to get up and get welded up against the rib to stop it from beating. And what was it you were feeling?
Betrayal. And it took a while to get it out. I mean, at first, because my body, I mean, my heart just moved away that had been sitting there for probably decades, stuck against my chest.
And I will tell you, and I'm not trying to, but this is important right now so that you get this. As soon as she came out and she recognized the betrayal, her subconscious jumped right into the middle of our program and tried to find blame with her family or her lovers or with the world.
Yeah.
And I said, Sharon, watch it, watch it. Don't let it jump in right now. You know, guess what? That's right. There's what welded it. Don't let the subconscious say, Sharon, we got to weld that heart because that heart needs to be welded because we can't have that heart beating that big. Your heart needs to beat less because every time your heart beats big and strong, you end up having a relationship and it almost kills you.
Yep. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
then I said to her, don't you dare come on the property for a week. You go and you sand scrub and you love yourself and don't you see anybody and don't call anybody and don't let anybody call you. Let's see if you can now honor yourself for 7 days.
Yep.
And what happened? I don't even know. Did you cheat a lot?
No, I didn't actually.
Really?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I honored myself. And
I didn't want to ask her.
Yeah, no, I didn't cheat. I mean, I went home, and that night that under my left breast, it was like there was just this drip of water, and I was like sitting on my bed, and it was just under the left. It was like my heart was weeping. It was needed to weep this emotion out of it, this emotion of betrayal. And you know what? I betrayed myself. Every time I ended up getting into a relationship or every time I ended up feeling these feelings, it was a betrayal of self. I didn't actually honor and love and respect myself enough. And so it was going into my heart. And, you know, and it was, my body went through like a reset. Talk about a reset. It's like, wow. And it actually, my heart had to create a new rhythm.
It's actually, you know, people might not like this, but it's actually a rebirth of your authentic self, getting closer to your authentic self.
Yeah.
Somebody just came on and Andrea said, I never cry. Could I do this? Understand, Andrea, that if we were to actually go in and do a heart release, there would be tears of joy coming out of you. So you have learned to wall off your emotions because it protects you from the terrorists that were probably your family or people in, could have been in the church or in the school when you were younger, or could have been on the street, could be anything. But I think if you sit quietly with yourself, you'll find out why you don't cry. You'll find out because if I show no emotion, I become the rock, right? There's two ways to go, Andrea. It's either become the rock or become the victim. And most women will become the victim. And then they'll become sick because then guess what? If I'm sick, they won't hurt me. If I'm sick, then I'll get loving attention because nobody loves me and I'm not worth it. And understand something, whether it's a man or a woman, believe it or not, we get sick because we don't have enough love in our life. So you're going to have to marry a lot of people, a lot. Maybe marry 5 at once, maybe. Because the reality is until you want to learn how to love and care for yourself, you're not going to get enough of anything. Because guess what? Borrowed love doesn't work out. And secondhand love doesn't work out. And whether you believe it or not, It's very difficult to find someone that loves himself. But if you could find someone that loves, honors, and respects themselves, that's the person you want to be with. You want to be with somebody who says, I don't want to be your husband. I don't want to be your wife. I want to be a spirit being with you where we could go on the greatest adventure of our life and where we just grow and we push each other to know that we are the universe we've been searching for.
Mm-hmm. And right away, I felt peace.
Oh, listen, Nadine says not crying is a pharmaceutical kill drug damage. Well, that's actually not true. And the reality is I know a lot of people that are on pharmaceutical drugs, Nadine, and they can't stop crying. And they cry about the same thing over and over again because they're locked in their subconscious, unconscious belief system of unworthiness. And the drug dumbs them down, which actually doesn't allow them to get into the present moment and own the thought that they're having. So they repeat it continually. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right away after this heart release, I felt peace. It was like this peace came over me, and in all honesty, it's the first time that I've ever truly felt joy and have owned it. And it's been just this unbelievable journey. And the meditations and just the power of love. It's really, I mean, the love of self and to be able to honor yourself. And there was, like I said, there was nowhere in any of this equation that there was any fear. And then I ended up having another.
But the fear comes from trust. And it wasn't trusting me. It was trusting herself. All fear comes from not trusting the self. Because there's not enough self-care, not enough self-love, and you're never going to have it. And just know this. There's only going to be 1 out of every 10,000 people that buy into this BS. And that's a new belief system. And because the majority of the population, and not even the minority, have even bought into this, nobody's going to. And the reality is, you know what? Yeah. Don't move with the herd. They're going to the butcher.
Fly. First love yourself.
Yeah, fly.
And I want to fly. I want to fly. I am flying like an eagle into the sea. And I want to keep flying. And as a master practitioner, and I'm soon to be a master trainer, I am so honored to be able to.
You just helped train the last course.
Yeah, that's true.
And
So-
are you helping to train this one or no?
This
No,
next
you're too
one in
busy.
March. Yeah, I'm too busy. Yes,
Yeah, she's too
I am
busy.
too busy.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's too.
I'm too busy.
She's too popular.
Yeah.
There it is. You're too popular. Okay. All right.
The perfect day consults are just.
Just
I
know
mean, I
that
just love it.
if you get more popular than me, then you people aren't going to see her anymore.
What happened to Sharon?
Pop goes the weasel.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And so then, I had a little bit more jiggle-jaggling going on with my heart here during the course with
Yeah.
Sage.
Can I just do this before
Yeah.
it goes? I have Nin. Can we still call you today for details about flights from BC to Ixtapa? I apologize. I will do this and get this done tonight. I have to connect with this lady in British Columbia, and so I have to go and I have to download Signal, but I have to download it not on the iTunes.
Oh,
I can't do that.
right. Okay.
I can't do it because then they track me.
Right.
So I got to do it at the signal.org thing.
Oh,
and then I'm
okay.
going to be talking to her.
Off the website.
And then we got the plan to get you out of BC. And I've just been really
Beautiful.
busy. We brought new people on to do our video, and they haven't had enough time to learn our studio. So we've had a little bit of chaos here. But they're doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's all about getting uncomfortable and
Yeah.
then get comfortable.
And guess
Right.
what? I have a show to do in 40 minutes with Christopher Key. And we're going to be releasing the IGF-1,
Beautiful.
25 NGs, and the 300 NGs. And understand something. If you wanted to take a product that's going to restore your vitality, your youth, your drive, help to bring back muscle tone, the way you think, just the way you are. I'm serious. This is the product for you. You might want to watch the show. If you can't, you can come on later and watch the show. We just started the IGF-1 sale last night. So you can watch the show, decide if you want to do it. or see what you think of it. We are going to be answering questions live on Zoom, okay? So I want to thank everybody for joining us today.
Do we want to go to any more questions? Or?
I can't.
No, okay.
And
Thank you.
But what'll happen is next week, next week, what's going to happen is I won't be here. So Sharon and somebody else is going to be doing the New World Practitioner Q&A on Tuesday. So
Okay.
yeah, you won't have to put up with me, okay? and then she won't have tantrums. But she'll be doing the show with somebody else. She can pick a co-host.
Okay.
And just know that we need to keep this happening, and she'll answer all the questions for you. And then you're going to find out what happens when you take our course 3 times and you want to rock the world.
Yep. Rock your world.
Rock your world,
And
baby.
you can do it. Believe in
Yeah.
yourself. Get out of your own way.
Yeah.
And allow yourself to be that beautiful,
But you can
beautiful
take the
spirit.
course one time and rock your world.
Yep. Yes, you
But
can.
she doesn't want to just be a practitioner. She wants to do trainings around the world for us. So that's why she's doing what she's doing. So anyways, just so you know, on March the 11th from 5 until 10, it will be aired live. It's called the Activation Tour with the people that put the Greater Reset together. And we're going to have 150 chairs in the tent. It'll be air conditioned. The juice bar is going to be open. We're going to be playing music. We're going to be doing meditation. We're going to be talking about getting our power back. One love, one law. So you're welcome to join us. It'll be on YouTube and Facebook and Rumble live. Okay, we will not be taking questions for that. Tomorrow, I'll be back on again tomorrow too. Today we're going to talk about men and getting their virility back, their muscle tone, their train of thought, their youth, how to make a man into a real man again. And no apologies, men. I'm not trying to take anything away, but the reality is when you look at things, men, you know what? You reached your peak at 50. Now men are reaching their peak at 30. So that's for energy. That's for muscle tone. This is not going to stay. We are going to change this. And we're doing a woman's show tomorrow, how to get your sexy back. And it's not about sex. So please, those of you who have religious beliefs, don't say anything. Just jump off the channel. Okay? This is how to get your sexy back, meaning that if you want to be a woman, this is it. And I'm not saying that. Anyways, I don't even know how to say this. Anyways, I said to everybody, if I say how to get your sexy back, we're going to get attacked. So
How
I was
else are we
outvoted.
going to say it?
I was outvoted. Anyways, so here's the deal. If you want to have better muscle tone, if you want to have better weight loss, if you want to have better strength, if you want to think better, if you want to feel young again, then you'll want to be on tomorrow's show at 2 o'clock. Okay?
Yep.
And then Braveheart
No,
Women.
it's on Thursday.
It's on.
Tomorrow's
I know.
Yeah.
It's on Thursday at
Thursday.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, yes.
And I'll be on that show. I won't be on that show a lot because I've been voted off. Something about having the wrong parts. I'm not sure.
We're allowing him on Thursday because
I-
he's our guest host.
They said you. They said you have the wrong parts, and I said don't I have a part to play? No.
We'll give him a part because really life is just a movie, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm allowed to come on that show anyway.
Yeah, then you'll have to really ask me nicely to come on another one.
Yeah, and on that show, on the Braveheart Women, we will be having the 2 beautiful Ukrainian
Nadia and
girls.
Irina.
Nadia,
Yeah.
they'll be coming back, and they'll be talking about pelvic health and well-being. So if you're offended by that part of the body, please do not come on and try to terrorize us. Okay? All right. So just try to find something to do. That'll be an hour and a half.
And I'll be able to comment because I'm taking the first day of their course, their training course on,
On Wednesday.
tomorrow. Yeah,
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So
So-
on Thursday, I'll be able to comment as to what the course is about.
Yeah, and then guess what? In a month from now, we're going live on Zoom. So if you want to attend the pelvic floor restoration, okay?
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
And so you'll talk from your
Yeah.
heart, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you've got the part.
Yeah, totally. And, this is about releasing our femininity. This is about getting connected to that life source. I mean, we have a sacred womb. We have a sacredity
And I'll
to us.
Yeah. And I'll say one last thing before I go, and then I'll let Sharon finish the day. Until I went in and actually got in touch with my feminine part, then I didn't have compassion for myself or anyone else or patience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that is something that is so important. It's
Yeah.
so important to get in contact with that, because that is the connection to nature. That is connection to compassion, nurturing, life force.
I had to get in touch with my feminine part, and we had to get rid of the male part for her.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, but you, when you were younger, you had to become a man.
Yes.
Not you know.
Well, that's right,
in the
because
way that you acted.
Yes, because I had so much testosterone, so much male influence with 6 brothers, and
You know what? I can just say
there's
that you've changed enough that we will dance now, because maybe you'll let me lead.
I'll let you lead. I love dancing with you.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to
Beautiful.
thank everybody for coming on the show today, and just understand something. And you can take this to the bank. We love you. And you know what? There was some spiritual leaders, I'm not going to say names ever again, that were here, and they taught love. They taught unconditional love. Okay? And understand something. That's the root of it.
Yeah.
Unconditional love for this world, because the world's not going to change.
That's right.
But you have the opportunity
Yeah.
to one law, one love, unconditional love, and self-care for yourself. And when you've mastered that, you don't have to worry about the world, because you can't give what you ain't got. And when you got this, you're never going to let it go again. Sharon, how would you like to close the day?
I like to close it, hold the line, hold that loving line, and allow people to be what they are, because they're only what their dysfunctional belief system is that they've been adulterated with, and they're programmed. And I encourage people to allow that to happen, because then we actually protect ourselves, and that is what it is. Love, honor, protect, trust, forgive, respect, unconditionally, first and foremost. And this is what this world is about. This is a teaching moment for us. We are teaching ourselves to be patient and to love unconditionally, and allowing people to be who they are. I don't want to change anybody. If I'm here and I'm acting as a leader, I can lead you into this beautiful place, and you can take charge of that.
And become your own leader. We do
Yes.
not want followers. Do not follow anyone.
Yes.
Say, I'm only going to be with Daryl long enough to get what I need, so that I can live my passion, my dream.
Yeah.
And be able to take and hold the Braveheart line, so when I come up, and I mean this, against my family, friends, and the rest of the world, I will lovingly tell them that I do love them, but it's my way, because it's my life, and this is my show.
And find your joy, that little boy, little girl in you. That little spirit being wants to come out and play. Hold on to that. Love, 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 and let yourself fly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You got this?
You know what? You're just so much more. Have a beautiful day, Bravehearts.
Have a beautiful day.
Bye.
Bye.
You know, it's not good enough to have the most powerful courses, treatments, and training. We want to deliver to you the adventure of a lifetime that's going to last a lifetime. And I'm going to take you on a little adventure right now and show you what we are going to deliver. What are we going to deliver? We are going to deliver the authentic you, the real you, the genius inside. How would you like to become not just the master of your mind, but the master of your body, the master of your life? You know what? The most important world is your world, and we're about to show you how to create it.
Found Dr. Wolf and all his positivity and trying to reshape our way of thinking and help me be a better person, a better mom, better wife. I'm glad I found him in person in Ixtapa, Mexico.
Never limit yourself to beautiful, because that's what you are. Take a look at this beautiful place. We all deserve beauty in our life. You need to create a new program that is unlimited when it comes to things that are beautiful, things that make you happy, things that make you shine, things that make you feel excited. Let's get excited.
This guy's got something really interesting to say and he's sharing it really openly and we're just really not caring what other people think, and I just thought that was really empowering.
What I've learned in my life is this: to be the change you wish to be the change you wish to see, Braveheart, you have to understand you take life one step at a time.
Dr. Wolf, as many people will have seen, is very direct and straight and will take you to the edge of the cliff, as he says, and then pull you back just in time.
Never lose your focus. Never lose your dream, because you are the dream maker. It's called image, but guess what? It's your imagination. The image that you hold creates the thought that you live with. That thought creates an emotion that creates a frequency, and we know that the invisible creates the physical. I mean, that's quite obvious. So be the power that you seek, and understand something, that all your thoughts matter. And guess what? Unless you're willing to take a look at those thoughts and retrain your brain, change your personality, you'll never change your reality, and your reality could become infinite.
He's a wealth of information, and I love it.
You were created by your creator to create. So let's create something amazing together.
I found Dr. Wolf and I went, wow, here's a truth speaker. And he spoke to my soul and he spoke truth.
So tell me what you think of the destination that I came up with my imagination to hold the whole life coach certification for you. Understand something. It's all about beauty. It's all about adventure. It's all about stimulating the mind, okay? And understanding that your mind is unlimited. And that is what the whole life coach certification is all about. In the whole life coach certification, we are going to go deeper. We have people coming to us, professionals coming to us, from doctors to nurses to accountants to oil riggers to mothers that want to expand their life. And when they come here, they go, I need to learn to help my family, or I want to improve my business. But guess what? We get into their business. When they leave, they become the change that they wish to see, that they wish to be. They become the gift to the world, because when you can stay in the present, and you can't do that until you have unconditional love and care for yourself. And I'll tell you something right now. I have hardly even found 1 out of 1,000 practitioners or even so-called whole life coaches that can hold the present moment and own it and then give it as a gift. And this is what I'm going to give to you. And when you come here, this is where you're going to come into this room when you need to find alignment, you need to find balance, and you need to get back into your lion heart breath, because we're going to go deep into your heart and we're going to become the spark that you seek.
And actually what I really love about Dr. Wolf's teachings is that unconditional love is literally it. And then you're like, how can it be that easy? That's just silly. So, but it's really not.
Come play, come stay, come train with us today. Understand something. I know we have fear, but understand, that's just false evidence appearing real. I get it. Stick your toe in, feel the water, but then I want you to dive right in, because
How I found my brave heart was through Daryl. He really teaches you to go within and go in through your heart and not your mind, because your heart's a lot more connected to so much more than your mind. Your mind is just so conditioned and your heart is just so open and beautiful.
you're the answer that you've been looking for. Let me teach you how to fly. What does that mean? First, love yourself, Braveheart. Let's take life in and win.
I had just lost my husband a couple of years ago. With his passing, he gave me the greatest gift to love myself. But Dr. Wolf gave me the greatest gift in understanding that.
I had a dream 3 years ago that I would live in Mexico and I would have this training center, this teaching center, this treatment center that would touch the world. Your dreams are never too big. And when they start to create a little bit of anxiety, turn them into excitement. And get excited, because this is your life.
He's the first doctor that I have encountered that has truly given me the truth, and not just half-truths, but the full truth. So it's been revolutionary for me in my healing process.
And this, my friend, when you take on the dream of all dreams, and you realize that if you stay connected to your breath, that you can have it all. Do not let anybody take your breath away. Do not let anybody steal your dream, okay? Listen, God gave you imagination. This is your sandbox of life. Take your life back. Right now, we are teaching courses to people that have come from all over the world, and the government is saying you can't travel, you can't breathe, you can't have this, you can't come together. Yes, we will. And we will do it with unconditional love for each other. And we will learn to grow. We will not judge each other. We'll observe and see where we can support each other. But at the same time, we will hold the Braveheart line, because this is the only way that we can grow. So find your roar, because you're so much more. And learn this. You are the unconditional love that you've been looking for. You are the dream maker. I can't wait to see you. We want to become that small piece of the puzzle that brings your dream together. Thank you. Let me ask you a question. What do you think it would take to turn your life around? I can tell you right now, I learned that a long time ago, what the key was. And anybody that has been able to perfect the perfect day on an emotional, physical, and spirit level knows this. The answer is massive, personal action. That's what it's going to take for you to turn your life around. And to turn your life around, you're going to have to go within if you want to change without. And that's the bottom line. And you know, people think that they can do it like with a consultation, or maybe they can do it with a telephone call or a Band-Aid or a 911 emergency, a treatment. But understand, that's not the way it is. The day that you realize that when you master your mind is the only time you're going to master your body. Forget your life. That's always going to be just random luck until you know that you must become the master of your day. From the moment you rise until you gently close your eyes, you must be the only authority for you. And if you think that getting an hour consultation is going to do it, it's not. If you think that going for therapy is going to do it, it's not. You have to submerge yourself into what we would call the personal treatment and training. And you need to do that from anywhere from 6 days to 10 days, or you need to come for my whole life coach certification, because if you don't go in deep, you'll never make changes. They say it takes 10,000 times for you to repeat something before it becomes a prominent, dominant thought. And if you understood that 70 to 90% of all your thoughts are not yours, and they say that 70% of your thoughts are toxic, tell me they're not. Take a look at the majority of the population. 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means the body is attacking itself. Before that, though, the person was attacking themselves on a subconscious, unconscious level. And that, my friend, is the bottom line, and why you must take a personal treatment and training and go deep and understand how to run your life. What that means is learning how to think, how to drink, how to eat, and knowing when somebody is mistreating you, when someone is disrespecting you, because until you honor and respect yourself, no one else is going to do it. So understand, this is your life. If you want to live your passion and purpose, then you must become the master of your mind to become the master of your body so that you can become the light for your family. So please, consider this. You've got the time and you've got the money, because you're going to change the rest of your life for the rest of your life, and that's my guarantee to you.